Hello, my name is Kevin Link, and I'm an applications engineer with GoEngineer. Today I'd like to show you a few of the productivity tools that are included with SolidWorks Professional. The first tool that I'd like to show you is something called Feature Compare. Here I have two very similar files that are open at the same time. In fact, they may be different versions of the same part file. If I go to Compare Features and choose those two different part files, SolidWorks will go through their feature lists and find all the differences and similarities between the two. Here we can see the parts rotate together. You can see the different feature lists. By clicking on each feature, you can see the different values between those two features. And if we see a red dot in the tree, we know that that particular feature is not present in the other version of the part. You can also use these to compare between configurations of the same part file. SolidWorks also gives you the capability of comparing just the geometry of files. Maybe you have two imported part files that are very similar and you want to know what differences there are in the volume or shape of the part. So here we can compare the geometry between two very similar parts, align their coordinate systems together, and then see a nice visual preview of what differences and similarities we have. The green indicating common volume. We can show just the blue to show the removed volume, or just the red to show the material that was added into the second part. SolidWorks Utilities also includes helpful tools for analyzing part design. In this molded plastic camera part, it'd be nice to identify areas where the part is thicker or thinner. Using thickness analysis, we can calculate areas of different thicknesses inside our parts. Here we have a color-coded visual showing us the different thicknesses, and if we put our mouse over the model itself, we get a data value at each of those points, showing us exactly how thick it is. Furthermore, we can use SolidWorks Professional to help identify areas in a part that may make it difficult to manufacture or run FEA analysis on. This tool is called Geometry Analysis and helps you identify areas where there are small edges, small faces, or sharp angles between those faces, and really helps you identify problem areas within your design. You can see it's brought up several knife edges, close small faces, and highlights them as you click through them in the model. So you can see areas that may be very difficult to machine or could cause problems while running simulation. Perhaps the most time-saving productivity tool is something called SolidWorks Task Scheduler. This task scheduler allows you to automate tasks such as converting files, updating files, importing files, or updating custom properties, creating drawings, or even allows you to run a custom task or macro on several to thousands of files. This means that instead of going through the files yourself, you can have the computer run that for you overnight or over the weekend. These are just a few of the productivity boosters that are included with SolidWorks Professional. For more information on how you can speed up your design process, please visit our website